musters up the moxie tonight. Unforgettable moments in time. The Essentials with Robert Osborne and Molly Haskell. Saturdays at 8 p.m. with an encore Sundays at 6 p.m. Only on Turner Classic Movies.
For more of our month-long salute to child stars. Last week at this time, we put the spotlight on the likes of Shirley Temple, Natalie Wood, and Elizabeth Taylor when they were small fry. This week, the boys take center stage. Talented fellows such as a 14-year-old Roddy McDowall, 13-year-old Freddie Bartholomew, and a 12-year-old Dean Stockwell. We're going to start things off, though, with a movie called The Courtship of Eddie's Father, starring Glenn Ford and a young man who would one day become an Academy Award-winning film director. He's Ron Howard, back when he was 8 years old and known as Ronnie Howard, but even better known as Little Opie on the Andy Griffith television show. It's no surprise he ended up in show business. It's in the genes. Ronnie Howard's parents acted, his brother Clint Howard acts, and Ron's daughter Bryce is now getting buzz for her recent film work. So it literally runs in the family when it comes to the Howards. When Ron Howard made our movie, he was already a 2-year veteran of the Andy Griffith show. His first role in a theatrical film had been at the age of 5 in the MGM drama The Journey with Deborah Carr and Yul Brynner. Well, in our movie, he plays the son of a widower who's out to personally find the best possible stepmother for himself and a wife for his dad. Film's a real charmer with Glenn Ford as the affable papa and playing possible candidates to be Ronnie's stepmother, such interesting women as Stella Stevens, Dina Merrill, and Shirley Jones. Everybody directed by the best of the best, Vincent Minnelli. So have a look from 1963, The Courtship of Eddie's Father. At the time she made this movie, Shirley Jones, who played Elizabeth, was a recent Academy Award winner. She'd won as Best Supporting Actress for the 1960 drama Elmer Gantry. And the movie she made just prior to The Courtship of Eddie's Father was the musical The Music Man, in which he played the singing Marion the Librarian. And in that movie, her kid brother was played by Ron Howard, who of course played Eddie in our movie. So this was a reunion for the two of them. Glenn Ford, who played Eddie's father, was fresh from being directed in another movie by Vincent Minnelli, The Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse, which had come out the preceding year of 1962. Up next, Roddy McDowall, at a tender age, in a film about a boy and his dog, beautiful collie named Lassie. And there's also a pint-sized Elizabeth Taylor, enhancing the scenery as well.
Tonight on Turner Classic Movies, a homeward-bound hound has a few helping hands in Lassie Come Home. Then spoiled rat Freddie Bartholomew gets a reality check on the high seas in Captain's Courageous. And Dean Stockwell learns it's okay to go against the grain in The Boy with Green Hair. Turner Classic Movies won't judge tonight.
This is the TCM Classic Movie News for October, the latest in entertainment news for the classic movie fan. In theaters this month. Raising the flag at Iwo Jima marked a turning point in World War II.
Country was tired of war. One photo, almost all on its own, turned that around.
Under the direction of Clint Eastwood, Flags of Our Fathers follows the lives of the 6 men who raised the flag on Mount Suribachi on February 23rd, 1945, creating one of the most recognizable images in history. We recently sat down with Ryan Phillippe and asked him what it was like working with the Oscar-winning director, Clint Eastwood.
Once you're cast in his film, he expects you to come to the set ready and prepared, and then he likes to be surprised. He doesn't like to get in and change from the outset anything that you're doing. He wants you to show him who this person you're playing is. And that's an actor's dream right there, is just to be given that kind of freedom and to be in such capable hands.
Ryan Phillippe, Adam Beach, and Jesse Bradford star in this World War II depiction of the Battle of Iwo Jima. Opening on stage this month, Grey Gardens.
I haven't worn a girdle since I was 12 years old. Here you
Mother
are.
has certain ideas about
Certainly have certain
about
ideas
clothes.
about living a long time.
This hilarious and heartbreaking musical brings to life Jackie Kennedy's most outrageous relatives. A mother and daughter who were once the brightest names in society, but ended up as notorious recluses. The sold-out hit of New York's spring theater season, Grey Gardens earned rave reviews and now moves to Broadway. Tony Award winner Christine Ebersol and Tony nominee Mary Louise Wilson recreate their acclaimed star turns as little Edie Beale and her mother Edith Beale for the Broadway premiere. Catch the original documentary, Grey Gardens, on TCM October 29th, introduced by host Robert Osborne and the two Broadway stars Christine Ebersol and Mary Louise Wilson. New on DVD this month, after a legacy of 50 years, Janus Films releases Essential Art House 50 Years of Janus Films. This set of 50 DVDs includes such classic films as The Life and Death of Colonel Blimp, The 400 Blows, Seven Samurai, Grand Illusion, The 39 Steps, and Pandora's Box. Available at tcm.com, this DVD set is accompanied by a 200-page illustrated story of Janus Films, together with detailed annotations of each of the 50 films featured in the box set. If it's a book you're looking for, his dry wit and boyish charm engaged audiences for years. Translating Jimmy Stewart's gentle but complex spirit onto paper, best-selling biographer Mark Elliott sheds light on Stewart's life story and the deceptively simplistic personality of the humble star everyone couldn't help but love. Featuring rare photos and revealing anecdotes from Stewart's family, Jimmy Stewart, a biography, is part of our Book Corner selection and hits bookstores and tcm.com this month. Join us next month for what's new in TCM Classic Movie News.
Fission Science creates an electronic monster so terrifying, only screams can describe it.
Come back home. Come back home. According to the evidence, Hennessy was murdered by a creature with atom rays of superhuman strength, and a creature that cannot be killed by bullets.
I said I would live to see you die.
I just came from the Bureau. They checked the murderer's fingerprints. His name is Willard Pierce. They let me have it from the files.
Petty theft, fraud, 3 months in prison, tuberculosis. How could a tubercular man have strength enough to break those bars like that?
You think that's something? Answer this one. How could a dead man have strength enough to do it?
Fantastic, but based on scientific fact.
Planes? How low they're flying? You will stop all planes and trucks searching for radioactivity.
If you do not, many people will be killed.
There will be no other warning.
Hello! 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 They hung up before I could put a tracer on it.
Slow down, Dave. Dave. Did they? No.
Go out and kill him.
It's a pleasure for me to talk about Lucille Ball because I always looked up to her. I thought of her as my big sister, but when I first saw her on the screen, I remember I didn't like her at all.
Kindly clear the way, please. Do you let me go through, or do I start slugging?
I was 9 years old, and the film was called The Big Street, and Lucy played this mean, heartless showgirl.
You got a job. What kind of a job? As what? A banker, maybe? Not a broker. How about maybe president? Go on, tell me.
A busboy.
A busboy. Cleaning tables, filling glasses, making with a butter, and you'll make it up to me.
Looking back on that, and I've seen the film since, I think it's my favorite Lucy film, which is strange for me to say because she's not funny. But I think the movie really shows that Lucy's talent as a comedian was based on the fact that she was a wonderful actress. She could do it all.
Washington Contact Limited. Is that you?
Huh? We fulfill a very useful function. Contacts knows the ropes, knows the people, knows the places, whom to see, where to go for it, and how to swing it. It provides backgrounds, foregrounds, and middle grounds, chiefly middle. It's a master of the art of collaboration and compromise. But it isn't doing very well.
I remember seeing Lucy in Do Barry Was a Lady with her red Technicolor hair and thinking how beautiful she was. Whether Lucy's hair color was natural or not, she was a true redhead.
So?
The original redhead.
Why, Gladys, this is a surprise.
I'll bet it is. I'm sorry to bust up your little party, Miss Connie Ellen Berry, but that man happens to be my husband.
I admired Lucy because despite her truly beautiful looks and being a woman,
Follow me.
she managed to also be comedic.
Hey, wait a minute. You follow me.
Please?
That wasn't easy because in Hollywood, all the top comics were men. So Lucy usually played the second banana to guys like Bob Hope or Red Skelton, and she never got as much to do as they did. But she could toss a line back with the best of them.
Oh, and tonight I'd like to present the winner of the Claire Booth Luce Award for America's Cutest Playwright. Will you please say a few words, Mrs. Valentine?
Take off. Oh.
The funny thing is, Lucy never really became a big movie star. The studios just didn't know what to do with her. But she never showed any bitterness. Instead, she considered Hollywood a great learning experience.
Let us down the sweet draught of Bacchus.
What's that?
That's Shakespeare for bottoms up.
All right.
I met Lucy when she came to see me in the Broadway musical Once Upon a Mattress back in May of 1959. There was this big buzz backstage, and I made the mistake of peeking through the curtain, and there I saw her, Lucy, in the second row, the red hair all lit up, and I don't know how I got through the show. There was the Queen sitting there, the Empress of Comedy, in the front row, watching me. That's the beautiful band!
Carol, +2.
A few years later, I called Lucy, and she said, "What's up, kid?" She always called me kid. And I said, "Well, Lucy, I'm doing this special for CBS, and I wonder," and she said, "When do you want me?" She didn't even let me finish the sentence. That was the first time we did a show together, and, oh, we had the best time doing it.
Chutzpah, chutzpah, to the top with chutzpah, Evelyn and Emily, hooray! With a little bit of brain and a teeny bit of talent, and chutzpah, we're on our way!
I learned from that show that Lucy wasn't one of those comedians who had to be the center of attention. I also learned that when the camera wasn't rolling, Lucy was all business. She would say what she liked, and you'd know she meant it. And then she would say what she didn't like, and you'd know it wasn't personal. Nobody ever worked harder than she did.
You said turn right here, and I turned right.
You didn't let me finish. I was trying to tell you to turn left. What I was trying to say is you turn right here left.
Over the years, Lucy and I were very close. We talked on the phone. She always sent flowers on my birthday. And there's not a day that goes by that I don't think of her, because I miss her. And isn't it a blessing for all of us that she went on to become such a big star after her days in the movies? I guess maybe Lucy had the last laugh. For Turner Classic Movies, I'm Carol Burnett.
Everyone's favorite funny, fiery redhead, Lucille Ball, is our November Star of the Month. Catch her films every Wednesday night next month on Turner Classic Movies.
Hi, I'm Robert Osborne. The child actor in our next film is somebody who was a great friend of ours here at TCM, but actually, Roddy McDowall was a great friend to almost everybody who ever met him. Not long after TCM launched as a cable network in 1994, Roddy joined our TCM family, hosting a series for us on film preservation, a cause he championed for many, many years. He's also somebody I knew away from TCM for almost 30 years. Inevitable friends, I guess, because of the passion and enthusiasm we both shared for movies and movie people. I don't recall ever seeing him in a bad mood, tired sometimes, and like all actors, always worried about when and if he'd ever work again. Yet from the time he entered movies at the age of 9 back in his native England, he never seemed to stop working. Well, our next movie is Lassie Come Home, a film that's more indelibly linked, I guess, to Roddy's name than any other. It's Roddy at age 14, joined by a collie named Lassie and a little girl with raven black hair and violet eyes named Elizabeth Taylor. It had been just 2 years before that Roddy had been given his breakthrough role in John Ford's Oscar-winning How Green Was My Valley, made for 20th Century Fox, where Roddy was under contract. He was never under contract to MGM, but over the years, Fox loaned him to MGM for many films, including this one about Lassie, which also marked the beginning of a friendship between Roddy and Elizabeth, which would last until his death in 1998. Here they are with Donald Crisp, who played Roddy's father in How Green Was My Valley, also Elsa Lanchester, Edmund Gwynn, Nigel Bruce, and Dame Mae Whitty. Great cast. From 1943, based on the book by Eric Knight, Lassie Come Home. This movie marked the first time that Roddy McDowall and Elizabeth Taylor had met and worked together. Thus began a friendship that held strong for the next 55 years. Soon after our movie, Roddy and Elizabeth again worked together as kids in MGM's classy film, The White Cliffs of Dover. And exactly 20 years after Lassie Come Home, Roddy had a prominent role in Elizabeth's epic version of Cleopatra. She was also at his bedside during the last days of his life in 1998. And by the way, you can see The White Cliffs of Dover and Cleopatra right here on TCM. To find out the next time we'll be showing either one of them, search our online programming guide at tcn.com. Up next, a child star who meant big box office to MGM a decade before Lassie came home to Roddy McDowall. He's Freddie Bartholomew, and we have him in one of his biggest movies, working alongside fellow kid actor Mickey Rooney and grown-up superstar Spencer Tracy.
Tonight on Turner Classic Movies, fisherman Spencer Tracy toughens up a pampered Freddie Bartholomew in Captain's Courageous. Then Dean Stockwell can't escape his origins in The Boy with Green Hair. And Wallace Beery takes a licking, but can he keep ticking? In The Champ. Turner Classic Movies takes off the gloves tonight.
Whatever you want, it's out there. You just have to know where to look. Look to TCM.com for the greatest movies of all time. The largest collection of classic movies on DVD and VHS, along with gift items and merchandise from the TCM archives, and special selections each month. In October, there's a chill in the air with a TCM horror sale. Save up to 40% on hundreds of movies, including 5 monstrous collections new to DVD. Vampires, mad scientists, and criminal masterminds run amok in Hollywood's Legends of Horror. 6 creepy classics including Mark of the Vampire, The Mask of Fu Manchu, and The Eerie Experiments of Diabolical Dr. X. The sale also includes the Boris Karloff collection, 5 of the Master of Horror's most frightening roles. Then delve into the terrifying world of the Inner Sanctum mysteries, the complete movie collection, 6 suspenseful tales starring horror icon Lon Chaney Jr. And spend a spooky Halloween with 2 of filmdom's most ghoulish monsters with the 75th anniversary editions of Dracula and Frankenstein. When you're looking for the largest collection of classic movies, you know where to find them. TCM.com.
We just saw Roddy McDowall, a top child actor of the 1940s, in our last film. We now have a movie starring another little British lad who was one of the top child stars at MGM in the 1930s, when Shirley Temple reigned supreme at 20th Century Fox, and Warner Brothers was giving a big push to cute little